Hello guys and welcome to GENSSI LED. Today we're going to do is a fender flare installation. We're going to replace the OEM fender flares with these flat fender flares, which will give you more travel. We have our GENSSI flat fender flares here. I already installed one of the rears. We're going to show you how to install the rest and transform this Jeep. So removing the fender flares is actually not that difficult. This is the rear. One of the things that you have to do is remove all the fasteners. These are all one-time use, so you're gonna have to basically pop those out. Some of them will break on you, but it's not a problem. You're not gonna have to reuse any of them. There's some basically on the edge, and then there's some deep inside, as you can see there. There's quite a few of those as well. Just remove all of those, and basically you'll be able to remove the inner wheel well, and which will allow you to have access to the outside fender and remove that as well. So let me get started on that, and then after that we'll show you how to remove the fender itself. Alright guys, so we have the fender off completely, and now we're going to begin basically the installation. Here's the old fender right here and the fender well. Now, to do this installation from beginning to end, we really didn't require many tools. This is the complete tool set that I use here, which is basically flat-headed screwdriver and basically pliers to remove all the fasteners, and then you're going to require basically a 14mm wrench, a 14mm socket, a 8mm socket, and an 8mm drill bit. Basically what that's going to allow you to do is tap into the inside of the fender here to be able to allow you to install the final screws. Now the fender itself will be able to install with the two main holes, which are located right here up top, and then there'll be just a few self-tapping screws that you're going to utilize to be able to install the rest of the fender. So just hold on tight and let me show you how to get the fender started. Alright, so we'll start with the fender. I have in my hand here the two main bolts, and what I will do is start by lining up the fender and then go ahead and put the two screws right through the pre-existing holes, and that will get the fender just started. And then what we'll go ahead and do is put a washer and nut in the back of these two screws, and then we'll go ahead and start self-tapping the rest. Alright, so we have the main two bolts on the fender installed, and now what we'll do is go ahead and start with the self-tapping. And what I like to do is start in this corner right here, these two holes, where we'll go ahead and drill them through, and then use the tapping screws. And it's pretty easy to tap into. I'm using this DeWalt wireless, so it's not very difficult. Right. Here. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and get the self-tapping screws, which we have right here. And those are 8mm heads. Go. We'll go with the second one. And then we'll go ahead and repeat the same process in two other locations here, or three other locations, and basically the installation will be complete. Alright guys, so the rear fender is installed. Self-tap screws, main bolts. Looking good. Very nice textured. Alright, next we're gonna go ahead and tackle the front. Alright, so we have the front driver's side installed here. It's looking really good. And so is the rear. It's looking beautiful as well. And now that we installed the driver's side, I will show you how to install the passenger side. So first thing we're gonna do is we have to remove the front inner wheel well. And there's quite a few of those fasteners. There was one-time use fasteners you have to remove, and then also inside there's quite a few fasteners that hold the wheel well inside too. And once we remove all the fasteners, then we have to remove some of the bolts, because there's the inner wheel well, and there's also a hard piece of plastic, which is this piece right here, that has to come off as well. And you have to remove some of these bolts. Here's one, here's another, and there is also two there and there. Once we remove all of that and disable this blinker right here, which should be just an easy unplug from the back, you'll be able to remove this whole fender, and that will be able to allow you to have access to everything that you need to be able to install the fender. So we'll go ahead and get started on removing the actual wheel well and the fender, and then once we have that done, we'll go ahead and show you how to install the new fender. Alright, so we have all the fasteners and all the bolts removed. As you can see here, these were all the fasteners right here. And there's a bolt here, and here, and here. Now we're ready to essentially just remove the fender. So let me show you how that's done. Essentially, it could be done really easily by just pulling upwards on the fender. And let's see here. Oh, I missed one more bolt. Let me get that out real quick, and then we'll be able to remove it. Hopefully we'll be able to pass forward through this portion. Alright, now with the final bolt removed, fender comes off. Just don't forget to disconnect the front running light. And there we go. So now you have the fender removed and also the wheel well removed, and all you have to do is bring the new fender and line it up. Now you can utilize this bar here. It will go right in this notch. You can utilize that to balance it and kind of somewhat get it mounted on there. and then we'll go ahead and utilize the original OEM holes and plug every one of these holes with the ball stopper we have provided, and at that point your installation is pretty much complete. Alright, so as you can see here, we have the front passenger side fender installed, utilizing all the OEM existing holes, starting from here and going all the way up to the front. One of the things that I will do, and I do recommend you to do as well, is utilize the OEM fender well to plug this whole area up for the front side because of all the wiring electronics that are there. And it's actually fairly simple to do. I'm going to give you an idea here. You can utilize the same existing holes that you used to remove the fender flare, starting with this side here, and basically just cut along right here and this whole area right here, and you'll be able to utilize the existing wheel well, and that will allow you to save all the electronics and be able to go out mudding and doing all kinds of crazy things without any issues. And that is all for today's installation. Just the final look on how the finished product looks like.